Go ahead, we are live now. He has joined through mobile. और मत करो. Vikrant ji, please start because we can't hear you, Vikrant ji.
I think some net issue is there.
Right. Vikrant ji, I think your bandwidth is not supporting. Why don't you switch off your camera? Then I think it will work. Yes.
Good morning, one and all. I'm audible?
Yes, you are, sir. Please go ahead. Yeah.
Good morning, one and all. As a moderator, let me introduce myself first. I'm Vikrant Saluja, Associate Professor, Faculty of Pharmaceutical Sciences, PCT Group of Institute. And on behalf of PCT Group of Institutes, I would like to welcome you all for today's session on intellectual property rights, incentivize your inventions. Today's session is being organized in association with ASSOCHAM, the Associated Chamber of Commerce and Industry of India, under ASSOCHAM IP Bootcamp Masterclass Series. I would like to appreciate ASSOCHAM for its endeavor to promote awareness regarding intellectual property rights among students and researchers. To start with the session, I would like to invite Dr. Puneet Utreja, Director and Principal, PCT Group of Institute. Dr. Utreja has about 16 years of research, teaching and industrial experience. He has published more than 20 research papers in different referred international journals and delivered 25 research presentations at various national and international conferences. I would now request you to take over the session, sir.
Thank you, Vikrant sir, for giving me such a nice opportunity to speak on this particular session. And first of all, I would like to thank ASSOCHAM for arranging such a good session for us, for our students. So I am sure it will be a beneficial for our students in future, particularly this session. So I think today's session is related to intellectual property rights. So we all know right now, every technological industry who is basically dependent on the technology and on the R&D part, research and development. So we all know we belong to the pharmaceutical industry where a lot of research is required. So as a lot of research is required, it means a lot of funds are required. A lot of funds are required. If any innovation comes to the industry, we need a recovery of that particular funds, which the companies generally invest on the development of product. If I take the example of one particular drug development, so in India, if we want to develop a drug, it needs around 2,500 crore rupees for the development of one drug. And if in a pharmaceutical industry we want to develop one product, we need around 500 crore rupees. So now I want to correlate this intellectual property rights with this development. If any company who is investing money in this particular development, so they need a recovery of that particular amount. If that recovery is not there, then the companies will not encourage themselves or will not ready to invest that amount. So how they will recover the money? So for my students, as this session is on the intellectual property rights, so basically the meaning of intellectual property rights is to give exclusive rights to the company or to the innovator for that particular product. Suppose today we invent something. So for a certain period of time, like in pharmaceutical sector, they give 20 years time period for the exclusive sale of that particular product. So that is a purpose of intellectual property rights. In intellectual property rights, we have a different subsections like patent, trademarks, copyrights. So as I said, R&D, research, is the heart of pharmaceutical industry. If we will not research, we will not come out with the new drugs and with the new products, then how we cure the diseases. So just to motivate the innovators, that patents governments give to that particular companies, so they can recover money, so they can reinvest that particular money and invent new particular drugs. So what basically required for patent? Novel product, novel technology, novel drug, and its usefulness for the masses. So if any technology, any innovation has these two components, novelty and usefulness, they can apply for the patent and the exclusive rights granted to that particular company or the scientist or to the innovators for the sale of that particular product. Generally, companies file the patent during the IND, when investigational new drug application stage, and they get patent in 5-6 years, and then they apply for the new drug application, then they market the product. So all those who are interested in future for the R&D activities or in the research, IPR has a lot of application, how to file the patent, how to get the patent from the different countries. So I think today all the eminent speakers will discuss with us about these, all the parts of this particular intellectual property rights, how to fill the patent, what is the treatment, where is our offices, what different applications are there. So I will not take more time, because today we want to listen from the experts from the industry about this topic. So once again, I would like to thank all the eminent speakers for sparing your time for our students. And please, sir, over to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your kind words. Now I would like to invite Mr. Nahid Alam. Mr. Nahid Alam is Deputy Director and Head ASSOCHAM IPR Council. He is also heading few other councils related to manufacturing, ease of doing business, and World Trade Organization, trade and investment. Please take over the session, sir.
Thank you so much for warm introduction, and thank you so much for giving us opportunity to host this webinar with your organization, sir. And of course, this is the first engagement we have with your institute, and hope we will continue our engagement for future as well. We have the subject experts. I am not a technical person on IP specifically, and also not specifically on pharma domain. I am a policy person who looks after that policy matters on IP, and doing advocacy work with the government and industry. I would like to share some of area of work in ASSOCHAM what we are doing. We have been doing a lot of activities under IPR Council and IPFC, and basically the areas of activity largely distributed in three major categories, where we are working closely with the industry, institution, startups, MSME, and intellectuals. The area that advocacy, we are closely working with the government and independent agency, organizations, industry to make changes in policy related to promote IP and innovations ecosystem. Second area where we are doing capacity building program, outreach programs like technical training programs, IP awareness programs, certificate program. We have also a few awards where we are doing capacity building programs and outreach programs. Third, one is that we are also providing hand-holding services to the innovators in terms of IP-related matters, filing, and Bhavna will explain more about the details of what we are actually providing hand-holding services to the startups, innovators, MSME, individual innovators, research scholars. And with this word, I won't take too much time because we have a technical people are here. Bhavna ji will be sharing on technical aspects, and Vijay bhai will be sharing a lot more detailed technical aspects of IP, specifically on pharmaceutical. With these words, thank you so much, sir, giving us opportunity. We hope this session will be very fruitful. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your kind words, sir. Now I would like to invite Ms. Bhavna Mittal. Ms. Bhavna is currently serving as a program manager at ASSOCHAM IPR Facilitation Center. She has qualified DST Women Scientist C Fellowship Program. She has a master degree in pharmacy from Punjabi University, Patiala, with more than 9 years of experience in academics and R&D activities. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Vikrant. Thank you so much for this warm welcome. First of all, I would like to congratulate PCT Group of Institute as well as Dr. Utreja, who had understood the importance of IPR and allowed us to organize a session with your student as well as the faculty members related to intellectual property rights. Let me start with my presentation. Is it visible to all?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. So our today's topic is intellectual property rights incentivize real invention. First of all, I will start from intellectual property rights. What are intellectual property rights? So what is a property? We have conventional property, tangible, which we call physical objects like land, household goods, cars, jewelry. These are tangible properties, means you can physically see it. So these are the conventional properties. But intellectual property means which is intangible property, which is you have gained out of your intellect of your mind, like idea, knowledge, or creativity, or any invention. Intellectual property is creation of human mind. It is moral, it is having moral value as well as commercial value. I will explain you in the copyright section what is moral value and what is commercial value. Then intangible asset, uh, no one can steal it from you. It requires protection. Like it is with the tangible property that you had to give some protection to that property. Intangible property like intellectual property also requires the protection. So what are the various components of intellectual property? Like literally and artistic work. These all are a kind of IP right. These symbols, names, images you are looking here, see that these comes under the trademarks. These are inventions or innovations. Like there is a ironing board on which you can iron and then use it as a mirror. There is an umbrella. You can hold a cup inside the umbrella with this. This is the innovation. So here is a toothpaste tube squeezer. Here is a twisted fork. Why it is called invention? Why it is not a design or anything else? I will tell you later. So here you have a twisted fork like this wavy bristles. You are having a straight bristles fork at home, but you cannot twist the Maggi noodles or noodles with that. So here are the reusable candles. The candle melts, and then with this kind of innovation, you can recreate this candle. There is a baby shower cap with which you can save your child from going any shampoo or soap into his or her eyes. To identify appropriate intellectual property right for the protection of IP. First of all, you should be aware of what kind of intellectual property it is. Like I was saying, why it is innovation, why it is invention, I will tell you later. So first of all, we'll find out what are the various intellectual property rights. IPR consists of literary and artistic work, which is protected under copyright. Then comes the industrial property, which is protected under patent, trademark, geographical indications, industrial design, plant variety protection, semiconductor integrated layout design. I will explain all these red highlighted topics: copyright, patent, trademark, and industrial design. As per the audience of this session. So first of all, coming down to the patents. A patent is an exclusive right granted by a country to an inventor, permitting the inventor to exclude others. What is it? Patent right? It is a kind of negative right. See the negative second point. It is a kind of negative right. You can protect others from using your product. Like it is a negative right to exclude others from making, using, or selling his or her invention in that country. So it is a territorial right. You cannot say that, oh, I am having a patent and I can sell my product to the European country as well as the USA or any other countries. No, these are territorial rights. If you have you got a patent granted in Indian continent, so you can only explore your rights over there in India. And if you want to explore your rights in the other countries, you have to take the patent granted from them, and you have to explore your commercial rights over there only. So patent is an exclusive right granted by a country to an inventor, permitting the inventor to exclude others from making, using, or selling his or her invention in that country during the life of patent. Here one point is also should be mentioned in virtue of the disclosure of the patented application. If we are disclosing the patent application means we are giving the details, what is our invention about. We are disclosing that in that patent application that is being publicized by the patent office. Because we are giving that information to the public, in virtue of that we are getting that rights for the life of the patent. Life of the patent is 20 years. So I have already told you it is negative right. It does not give the inventor, it does not give the inventor the right to use or practice the invention. Sorry. Territorial right, it is 20 years. And it is under the Indian Patent Act 1970. So what do you mean by discovery or invention or innovation? Do you find any difference? Previously, some people were saying, oh, they have done some discovery. So discovery means anything which is already available in the nature or it is already available in the system. You had just explored that. The first time you had explored that, that is known as discovery. Like here I have pasted the example of Vasco da Gama has discovered India. India was already there. Vasco da Gama had already only come to India and he had told all of the world that India is there in the South Asian continent. So that is called discovery. What is called invention? Invention is like first of all means पहले हमारे पास कोई phone use करने को नहीं था. तो first of all whatever the piece of that communication was invented, that is called invention. But then we are having a incremental innovation. Incremental innovation like we were having a wired phone, now we are having smartphones, wireless phones. These are innovations. So invention as well as innovations are patentable. So what are the patentable subject matters? Apparatus, any kind of apparatus you are designing in your lab or your institute, that is patentable subject matter. Any process, any composition, like you are from pharmaceutical background, so any composition of new drug dosage form, the product out of that, all these comes under patentable subject matters. So what are the criteria to for any product, process, or anything to be a patentable subject matter? First of all, it should be novel, novelty. All the patentable subject matters are tested on the three criteria, or you can say four criteria. First is novelty. That means it should be new. It should not be having any disclosure in the public domain before filing the patent. Even you have not prior use, you should not be having in prior use, prior publication, or it should not be anticipated to. Anticipated means you are having some invention, I can say there is a filtration process. So you will say that I am using two filters and this is giving me some kind of a good filtered amount, 90%. Or then I will come there and I will say that, oh, I had attached one more filter. Now we have three filter, but it is giving 99% purity. That is obvious. That is quite obvious. So it should be non-obvious. Inventive step should be there and it should be non-obvious. Only then we can say that it is a patentable subject matter. And thirdly, it should be industrially applicable. Only the industrial application, any kind of product, process which is having industrial applicability, only that can be patented. And according to the law of every continent, there are some conditions imposed on the patentable subject matters. Like we are having within our Patent Act Section 3, Section 4, which is about the non-patentable subject matter, and it should not fall under the category of non-patentable subject matters. So these are the details about the non-patentable subject matters. Contrary to the law or morality or injurious to public health, it should not be, then it cannot be patented. Discovery of a scientific principle, that cannot be patented. Discovery, these three are very much important for the pharmaceutical sector. Discovery of a new use of a known substance. If I'll say that I am using paracetamol, were already using paracetamol as an antipyretic, and I will say that paracetamol is also useful for as a means anti-inflammatory purpose. So that is a new use of the known substance. So that cannot be patented. Admixture of the compounds, 2 or 3 compounds we are admixturing and then saying that it is giving some synergistic effect. Then arrangement and rearrangement or duplication of the known devices, that is also not patentable. These 3 sections are the key pain areas of the pharmaceutical sector. Then coming down to the atomic energy, which is means anything which is harmful for our security purposes or for the society, that cannot be patented. Plants and animals in whole or any part. Let me explain you something about this. Plants and animals in whole or any part, only that is not patentable, but plant varieties, like there are some other IP rights, plant varieties. If you develop some other variety from the basically which is being originated in the country, that is known as plant variety. For example, genetically modified, we used to say na GM plants, GM microbes, genetically modified organisms are patentable. Then topography of integrated circuits, presentation of information, only we are presenting any information. We have not involved any inventive step in that. That is not patentable. Method of performing mental act or playing game, that is not patentable. Literary, dramatic, musical or artistic work, that is not patentable because that is copyrightable. Mathematical business method or computer program per se or algorithm, they are not patentable. Method of treatment of human beings or animals. So this is also a criteria which is very much included in the pharmaceutical sector. Here I would like to mention one thing, that method of treatment is not being patentable, but the diagnostic equipments, diagnostic kits, they can be patentable. A method of agriculture or horticulture, because we are an agriculture rich country, we have not given the method of agriculture or horticulture is a patentable subject matter. Then traditional knowledge, like you already aware of the turmeric case as well as basmati chawal case. Traditional knowledge comes under that. Traditional knowledge based on things are not patentable. Frivolous or contrary to well-established natural law, which is against the natural laws which are already well established, that is also not patentable subject matter. Then coming down to the next IP right, which is copyright. Copyright is given to the rights of a creator over their fictional as well as artistic works. Work should be fixed in a tangible form. Like this is the major difference between patent and copyright. Patent, if you have any idea and you think that it will be a very much commercially successful, so you can file a patent for your idea also as a provisional patent application. And meanwhile, you are being given 12 months to work on that, so that you can file a complete specification for that provisional application patent file. So if you within that 12 months of time period, you can work on your idea and you are coming up with an industrial applicable product or process, so you can file the patent application. But copyright is given only to the expression of that idea. So that should be expressed in a tangible form. Regional rights that do not extend beyond the territory. All the IP rights are regional rights. Regional rights that do not extend beyond the territory of a specific jurisdiction. Jurisdiction means where the laws are applicable. The duration of a copyright spans the author's lifespan plus 60 years. This duration is variable in other countries also. We are having author's life plus 60 years. This is being protected under Indian Copyright Act 1957. So these are some examples of the copyright protected works like these. This is the slogan for Amol, Gitanjali books, novels, poems, paintings, maps, films, sound recordings, photography. Even nowadays, people used to take selfies and post on the Facebook. I should say one thing here that everyone nowadays people used to write over their PC. Photograph credit goes to whosoever have taken the photograph. The picture doesn't belong to the person who is appearing in that picture. Picture belongs to the, it is a creation of that person who has taken the photograph. So that is the copyright of him or her. Softwares, dramatic theater, newspaper articles, sculptures, architecture, all these are copyrightable subject matters. So copyright protects the idea in the express form. You are having any idea, you have expressed it, you have then in the written form, or a singer used to sing the song, that is his or her copyright over there. So what are the rights which we get under copyrights? First slide I have told you economic and moral rights. I'll tell you now what are economic rights. Economic right which allow the rights owner to derive financial reward from the use of his works by others. Means you are having a copyright on your book, on your article, and someone other want to use it or for their purposes. So you are having the economic rights over there, that publication or the article or book. So its reproduction in various forms such as printed publication or sound recording. अगर उसकी बहुत सारी कॉपीज और निकालते हैं हम प्रिंटेड पब्लिकेशन की, तो दैट इज मींस यू कैन अर्न द रॉयल्टी फ्रॉम दैट publication, or any sound recording. If someone other is using that sound recording, they had to take the permission from you, they had to give some money royalty against that, and then they can use. Otherwise you can sue them with the infringement claim of copyright infringement. It's a public performance. If you have played such as in play or musical work, recording, for example, in the form of compact disc or DVDs. So compact disc and DVDs which people used to copy, that is known as piracy. It's broadcasting by radio or cable or TV. You must have many times seen and listened to that, the broadcasting partner. There are some programs on TV as well as the sports program. Broadcasting partner. Broadcasting partner means they are the one who are having exclusive right to broadcast that sequence of events. Then it's translational to translation into other languages. If you have created any novel or story or anything, you want it to be translated to different languages, that rights are with you. It's adaptation such as novel into film or screenplay. Then coming down to the moral rights. Moral rights are means which protect the non-economic interest of the author. Non-economic interest means the right to claim authorship of the work, right to object to any deformation or other modification of the work. If you have created any like you people are publishing your article, if someone has deformed that article, has modified your work, and they have not given credit to you, so that is your infringement of your copyright also, or other derogatory action that would be prejudicial to the author's honor or reputation. So moral rights are basically to the authorship as well as honors and reputation of the author. So here I have pasted one example, like in the these are two novels of Chetan Bhatt, 5 Points on One and 3 Mistakes of My Life. on which there were two movies which were telecasted. One is the Kai Poche. Kai Poche was telecasted with the title being based on the novel of Chetan Bhagat's Mistake of My Life. Adaptation was there, royalty was given, but credit was also given to Chetan Bhagat. But here in Three Idiot movie, which was on another novel of Chetan Bhagat, by point someone, that there were no credit to the Chetan Bhagat because he has signed some exclusive agreement where he has given all the economic rights to the movie producer, but he then they told him that all the moral rights also you have given to us. While he has not seen the agreement, and there were already written, but it cannot be possible. Moral rights are always with the author who had created. Then coming down to the third topic of discussion, IP right, trademark. I'll tell you one thing, trademark is very, very much important for the business as well as services providing companies. Trademark is a word, sign, logo, slogan, graphics or images which is used to brand the product or services of any for any commercial benefits. TM serves as a badge of origin. Like you people always used to see ना कार पे कौन सा ट्रेडमार्क लगा है, कौन सा लोगो है उनका, तो हम लोग उसी से रिकॉग्नाइज करते हैं, ओके अच्छा मर्सिडीज की कार है, अच्छा ऑडी की कार है ना. सो दीज आर वेरी मच इम्पोर्टेंट. उसी से हम लोग उसका ब्रांड वैल्यू पहचानते हैं ना. TM are valued business assets that distinguishes a good or services from goods or services of the competitors. कंपिटिटर से हमारा अलग पहचान बनाता है ट्रेडमार्क. So registered trademark needs to be renewed every 10 years to keep it in force. रिन्यूअल फीस 10 years के बाद हम लोग उसको पे करते हैं, बट हम लोग लाइफ टाइम के लिए उसको यूज कर सकते हैं विद 10 years रिन्यूअल फीस पे करके. Trademarks are territorial rights. Their registration and enforcement is governed by national laws. For example, Trademark Act 1999. So these are the examples of trademark. You can easily recognize this is Maggie, this is infringed, or you can derogatory trademark Mogi. So what it gives consumer to distinguish between goods and services to avoid confusion. Owner को क्या मिलता है? To prevent others from copying, taking advantage of the goodwill in the owner's brand or company name. Then these are the some examples of trademark. I'll not go in detail. These are some property of trademark. It should be distinctive, like Colgate, Pepsodent. It should not be descriptive. Means Apple should not be a trademark for any Apple company. मतलब Apple का business से related नहीं हो सकता वो. Not descriptive. It should not describe the kind of services or kind of product we are giving. It should not be contrary to public order or morality. Then coming down to the industrial design. Design protection industrial, sorry. I'm sorry, my laptop's battery is low. So design protection is the protection of the appearance of an article. Industrial design means the design of any article which is industrially manufactured and useful to the consumers, protects features of an article like external shape, configuration, surface pattern, or ornamentation of an industrially reproducible articles, imparts an aesthetic eye appeal to the article. So industrial design is only to the aesthetic appeal or appearance of the that article, enhances the value and marketability of the product. Design protection is territorial. It gives a monopoly for a period of 10 years that is extendable by 5 years and protected under Designs Act 2000. What are the criteria for design to be protected? It should be original. For example, you must have न्यूज आप लोगों ने पढ़ी होंगी, सुनी होंगी कि तो मनीष मल्होत्रा का डिजाइन है, ये सब्यसाची का डिजाइन है. So they have registered their designs. That is why they have exclusive right on their designs. Must have been originated from the creator. It should be new, not identical to any previous design, and it should be industrially reproducible. Then design is article specific. Design is always applied to an article, therefore it is article specific. Like there I have given some example. These curtains are having design, this bed sheet is having design, so this will be under industrial design. But this painting or design on the trace paper will not come under industrial design. A known design, if applied to a new article, can impart originality and would be considered as registrable design. Article must have two identical ingredients to be eligible for design registration. These include an article of manufacture, and it must be capable of being made and sold separately. An article must have a purpose other than merely carrying the design. मतलब इंडस्ट्रियल डिजाइन वही होगा जिसका अदर एक पर्पस होगा, सिर्फ ये नहीं कि डिजाइन है उसमें. That is, the article must be capable of being sold even if it does not carry any design applied to it. So these are the examples of designs, 2D or 3D or a combination, like 2D surface pattern, composition of lines, colors, cut of the garment, these kinds of designs, and 3D features of shapes and configuration, like these bottles. You must have heard Coca-Cola की bottle जो है, Coca-Cola glass bottle we have shown here. Coca-Cola की plastic bottle भी they have registered as a design, and even the shape वो जो नीचे उनके आप अगर उसको देखेंगे, अगर उसको रखेंगे तो it creates a 5-petal flower design that is also being registered with Coca-Cola. So design functionality, design registration protects appearance and not the function. For example, this is the example, this is the function of a zip. It doesn't not protect the function of the property. If the feature is merely functional in nature, the same would not be incapable of any design protection. So IPRs are not mutually exclusive. देखो एक कोको कोला की बोतल है, आप उस पे देखो कितने सारे अपने पास आईपी राइट्स होंगे. पेटेंट, फॉर्मूला ऑफ द कोको कोला which is they have kept trade secret also. Formula is not known to anyone. A single product can be protected by multiple IPRs. This is their brand, Coca-Cola trademark. This is the design of the Coca-Cola bottle, like these kind of number of dots as well as Coca-Cola printed in the shape, also appearance shape of the bottle, as well as advertisement in print as well as electronic media. This is copyright. So one product can have a multiple IP rights on it. What is the importance of identification of these IP components at an early stage? First of all, to analyze the intellectual property and its worth. You should know if you are creating any kind of drug product, you should first know what kind of intellectual property you can earn on it, and you can make money out of it. To plan a proper strategy for the protection of IP components, you can build a strategy how you should go for your protection of IP rights. Then not to disclose in public. This is the first component. Always mind it, never ever disclose your product, or if you want to get a patent right over it, never ever disclose it in public, publish or public use. First of all, I have even now I have seen many of the educational institutes who are very much behind publication. You should first get a patent, then publish it. First file for a patent, then publish. Do not run behind the publications. Then filing of IP protection at most appropriate time. You should know when you should file for IP rights. Means अगर आपने एक डिजाइन बनाया है या आप ये बोलो कि आपने एक मशीन बनाई है. We are having another speaker on this prospect. He will let you know detail about all these things. So I will leave here to plan a strategy for commercialization of IP. आप लोगों को पता हो सकता है कि what kind of IP rights you can earn from it. Then you can make a strategy to how you can commercialize your IP rights. Then coming down to the next portion of my presentation, all this information which I had already told you, this all you can get it from L2 Pro. L2 Pro is known as Learn to Protect, Secure and Maximize Your Innovation. This is a IP e-learning platform and it has been designed to educate Indian startups, micro, small and medium enterprises and innovators on the fundamental of intellectual property. This is a IP e-learning platform which has been launched by DPIIT, Qualcomm as well as National Law University, Delhi. So you can get aware of all your IP rights into this platform. You can easily log into this platform and you can get aware of your all IP rights, how to commercialize even everything, loopholes, everything you can get it from this platform. L2 Pro is a IP e-learning platform. It is having 11 modules, which is based on the level of knowledge and distributed into 3 levels, basic, intermediate, as well as advanced. This is the basic level, which is having 4 chapters based on the fundamentals: patents, trademark, geographical indication, copyrights, neighboring rights, unfair competition, trade secret, plant variety protection. Then coming down to the intermediate level, how to file and acquisition of IP, IP searches कैसे करेंगे आप, freedom to operate. FTOs means every time we used to say legal rights. Legal right means if you want to have right, that means you are not going to infringe others' right also. So you should be aware of that. Assignment and licensing agreement, territorial consideration. Then advanced level, how to access funding and venture capital to commercialize, to get the funds for your startup or your company for exploring the IP rights. Then introduction to standards and standard setting organization, dealing with dispute, infringements, validity, defenses, attribution, all these kinds of IP knowledge you can get from this platform L2 Pro, which is a free of cost platform. You are not going to pay a single penny for this, but you can get this knowledge at one click. Your desktop or your mobile phone, you can download it as mobile app also. Each module comprises of e-text for understanding concept as well as short animated videos of the concept, links to additional resources on the subject. I will show this in the one of the slide also. Then quizzes and case studies for assessment. Like you have understood the concept, but you can analyze your knowledge by taking the quiz and the assessment also. Grading the learner knowledge and understanding the topic. Learner can access the platform through desktop or mobile app. If you want to access through desktop, L2 Pro India is the web URL. You can click on that, or you can download it as a mobile app. You will qualify all the module and you will be given the e-certificate by SciPAM, NLU Delhi, Qualcomm for successfully completing the e-learning modules of that platform. The team, all the team is organizing a series of webinars for an outreach of the L2 Pro program for creating awareness on the topics related to intellectual property. Leading experts on IP from industry as well as academia as well as government will speak at this webinar. So now the upcoming webinar is on IP funding opportunities to take startups and MSMEs to the next level, and it is being scheduled on 1st September 2021. The link is there, and the timing is 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. You can all register over there. So now I'll tell you how you can sign in. I am having my ID and I have saved the credentials in my laptop, so I can easily sign in from here. My name will be displayed, my password is saved. I can click here, sign in, and I can get into the portal. This is the registration ID for the portal, l2proindia.com, or you can download it as an app, L2Pro app, or Google as well as iOS operating systems. So now coming down to the sign up process. If you are not you are new to this portal, first you have to fill all this information. So I had shown this example here. My name is there, Bhavna Mittal. I had given all the information there, and then I had clicked on I'm not a robot, I agree to the terms of service, then click on sign up. Then there will be a pop-up message. You have registered successfully. An email is sent to you from L2Pro India. You need to follow the instructions in the email to verify and activate your account. In case you have not received mail in your inbox, please check your spam folder. Then sign in. Then you have to go to your inbox. This is my screenshot of my inbox. Here you will get an email like this, L2Pro India support, and when you will click on this, then you will get a message, click here to verify email. You will click here, then your account has been activated successfully, sign in. Then you can sign in over here, and this portal will be open. Welcome Bhavna. This is now your L2Pro India portal where you can learn about all your IP rights. So this portal will be shown like this: basic module, basic course. It is having 4 lessons. Then intermediate, it is also having 4 lessons. Then advanced course, it is having 3 lessons. These are some screenshots from the first lesson. Like I have already told you that it is having some animated videos also, introductory video. This is a screenshot from the video. A patent granted in India is valid only in India. This is a kind of quiz contest. Now this is on the 9th page of first lesson. Can you tell which one of the following does not qualify for IP protection? So here are the options, and it will test your intellectual property. It will assess your intellectual also, what you have understood. Then types of IPR, categories of IP rights. Like I have already told you, industrial design, industrial property consists of industrial design, patent, trademark, trade secret, geographical indications, layout design, plant varieties. So this is the criteria how you can qualify for any invention in India. This all information is there in the L2Pro app or portal. So this is the patent procedure in India, how you can file for a patent, what are the various steps you have to follow, what kind of actions patent office will take on your publication or your application. So all this is there in the portal itself. So this is the slide which I was saying. If you will you want to get to know about the patent fee, you can find the detailed information on patent fee here. Here it is a link. You will click here. It will automatically take you to the IP India website. So all the patent fee amendments or anything will be there. So you will get the latest information. These are the links for the outsourced information. So this is the kind of, if you have completed the basic module, then you have taken the assessment, you have generated some kind of percentage into that, then there will be a download certificate link. You will download the certificate here, and it will be generated like this. I think these all my HOD Nahid sir had already told that we used to provide policy advocacy in our ASSOCHAM IPFC, and we used to increase the awareness about IP rights. We used to provide hand-holding services for IP protection, IP awareness, training, counseling, and advisory services. So these are our service areas where we used to operate. These are our groups where we can give the services to MSMEs, startups, incubation centers, individual innovators, as well as university setups. So you must be thinking, what is this ASSOCHAM IP Bootcamp? So this is one of our initiative, IP Bootcamp, where we are providing services, counseling services, which are free of cost. Like individual innovator can apply, startups, MSMEs, budding entrepreneurs, academia, researchers, scientists, professors. What is the cost of this bootcamp? Bootcamp is pro bono, free of cost. You can come to us, you can consult to us for these kind of domain, life sciences, healthcare, diagnostic, medical, all the pharmaceutical, life sciences, healthcare, chemical, fertilizer, all these sectors, you can come to us, you can consult free of cost. You can find a strategy also. You can consult us for building a strategy for your IP filing. Don't worry, we'll sign a confidential agreement with you, and your information is confidential with us. We'll not give that information to anyone, and we'll try our best to counsel yourself for all these queries related to IP rights. What are the gains of this IP bootcamp? Identify and protect your IP assets, one-on-one interaction with IP experts, strategies for IP filing. What we think that sometimes people doesn't have a correct IP strategy, that what we should file first and how many time it will take, how many, like our IP lead, Mr. Vijay Kumar Shivpuje will give you detailed information about that. IP protection with limited budget and resources, how can we do that? Any other query related to IP? So this is our team, where we all are involved in these kind of IP bootcamp awareness as well as services. Any kind of question? Over to you, Vikrant.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for enlightening students regarding various types of intellectual property rights. Right now, they must, I think, they get motivated regarding inventions, innovations, and definitely, you have suggested a portal L2 Pro, and student may they join this L2 Pro to enhance their knowledge. Thank you so much, ma'am. Now, I would like to invite Mr. Vijay Kumar Shivpuje. Mr. Vijay Kumar Shivpuje is the director of Petlex Business Solution, a knowledge processing outsourcing firm practicing in patents and designs. He is also serving as an IPR lead, IPFC ASSOCHAM New Delhi, and he is a registered patent agent with the Indian Patent Office. Welcome, sir. Please take over the session.
Thank you so much, Vikrant. And just to confirm, am I audible clearly?
Yes, you are audible, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Vikrant. Thank you so much, Dr. Puneet, for allowing us to have this particular session at your institute. Thank you so much, Bhavna, for two things. First of all, for killing my entire presentation. And second thing, giving me a base so that I can speak on what you spoke actually, or what you gave an idea about the different types of IPR, and how ASSOCHAM IPFC is working with the institutions and universities as well. Before I start with my presentation, I just wanted to see how many of you are actually there in the presentation and they are live. Just put it in the chat box. I just want to know how many of you are students, B.Pharm students, M.Pharm students, researchers, or faculties. Each one of you have to put it in the chat box. I can see at least 64 to 63, 64 participants. Just put it in the chat box if you can hear me. Are you a student, B.Pharm student, M.Pharm student, faculty, or a researcher? Put it in the chat box so that I have better idea how to take the presentation ahead. I won't be speaking for much. I would just hardly take 20 or 30 odd minutes, but I want to make it a bit lively. Just put it in the chat box if you can. Pawan, Preet, yes. Are you a student? Just put it. Faculty, very nice. Next, anyone else? Any master students? Just put it in the chat box. Yes. BSc Biotech. Okay. Faculty. Okay. Anyone else? Master students, researchers. Faculty, Dr. Anuradha, thank you. Ankita, thank you. Faculty, okay, great. So at least some faculties and researchers are still there, like, to listen to me after an hour, because it's very difficult, to actually have these kind of sessions virtually, basically, and that's the reason I thought to just make it lively and to know who are all my participants. Okay. Let me share my screen as well. Okay. Is that visible? The screen is visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, thank you so much, Bhavna. Yeah. Okay. Now, Bhavna has already given you an idea about what is IP, what are the different types of IP, patent rights. But then one question that comes to our mind is, shall we go for filing the patents? If yes, why? If no, why not? Actually, and the kind of education system that we have, and if we look at the recently published new education policy as well, our focus has always been towards the research papers. One of the most important questions that is asked at the academic institution level is, क्या impact factor का journal है जहाँ पे आपका research paper publish हो रहा है? Can we think beyond that? New education policy expects you to not only teach to the students, not only do the research, but beyond that, what is expected is actually giving the student that knowledge so that their research papers can be actually maybe something which would be really beneficial for the entrepreneurship, or they can actually launch their products. रिमेंबर, जो रिसर्च आप अपने लैब में कर रहे हो, कितना भी अच्छा इम्पैक्ट फैक्टर का जर्नल है, कितना भी अच्छा आपको रिजल्ट्स मिल रहा है, कितना भी आपको इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स या फंडिंग मिला है उसके लिए, it has zero value until and unless it is for the benefit of the people. When we think of that, one of the most important thing is protection of your intellectual property. आपने जो किया है उसका protection हमें कैसे मिले, and that's what IP is all about. It's the property that can be protected through different means. And जब हम लोग pharma की बात करते हैं, being from a pharma background, working with pharmaceutical industries for more than a decade, what I have understood, and now working with lots of institutions, academic institutions, universities, and corporates as well, what I have understood is the intent why the faculty members or researchers, master students are filing patents at least are three. And let me bluntly tell you all those reasons as sir. First, तो हमें बहुत अच्छा NRF ranking चाहिए. हमें NAC और NBA के accreditation के लिए we need some kind of patent filings actually. And in many cases actually people are filing it for the purpose of upgradation of CV. Some people directly tell us कि नहीं, हमें promotion चाहिए sir, अगर ये patent file हो गया, publish हो गया तो हमें promotion मिल सकता है. Are these the right ways to file a patent? I believe it's not about the intent, it's about are we doing it or not. If we are doing it, we should at least know. See, any system, any kind of system which we need to implement at academic institution level, therein what is required is initially it's all about numbers, and maybe then thereafter we may have some kind of quality. Now first, so I have got some FAQs, frequently asked questions, in my all sessions, delivered more than 100 sessions at I would say working with lots of institutes, pharmacy institutes, 40 plus pharmacy institutes are our clients for which we are filing the patents or doing lots of other activities as well. These are some of the questions that I have identified and which would be really relevant for all of you. When should I file my patent application? The first question. The patent application can be filed at any point of time from the ideation to actually your research is finished. At any point of time, you can do that. Uh, important important thing is that we can file actually at the time of your ideation thesis topic जब आप identify करते हो that point of time as well you can file. Why should I file? I have already told you the reasons actually that why should you file. What data do I need to file my patent application? If I need to file a patent application, to be honest, if you don't work any in your lab, you don't have any data to support, still you can file that patent application. And the examples, experimental data is not mandatory as far as patent is concerned, but it is highly recommended that you should have that data as such. But then it all depends on what kind of invention you have. Shall I seek the help of patent agent for filing? I'm a patent agent. You can also, it's something similar to a research paper. In fact, I'll show you how a research paper and patent are compared basically. But shall I take a patent help of patent agent? One thing what we need to understand, you are actually a technical expert. When you are working on a research, when you are working on a thesis, you are master in that, but you don't know the legal part of it. And patent document is always a techno legal document. That's the reason you should take a help of patent agent, but it is allowed that you can also file on your own. Can I publish my research before? You cannot publish your research before patent filing. It would kill the novelty for your invention. There are some clauses which allow, but then we shouldn't go into that. Ideally, you shouldn't publish your research before patent filing. After patent filing, for example, yesterday we filed the patent application. Today, you can actually publish it. There is no harm in that. Can I commercialize my invention after patent filing? Now, this is something really crucial. People think that अगर मुझे पेटेंट मिल गए तो मैं फुनसुक वांगडू हूं, मेरे पास कोई बड़ा कंपनी $1 million लेके आएगा and they would purchase my invention. Remember, no one is going to buy your invention. No one is going to buy your patent. They are going to buy your product. And if your product has a commercial value, and यहाँ पे ही हम लोग, this is the actual point wherein we are actually lagging. When we decide or our research thesis topic, be it masters or PhD thesis, that point of time, we just look for the impact factor, journal, publication. We try to copy it actually. When I say copy it, we just try to either change the drug or either change the excipient or dosage form. It's like something what Bhavna mentioned is obvious ho jata hai. And that's the thing. So your commercialization has nothing to do with patent filing. Basically, the commercialization even has nothing to do with patent. Patent is a negative right. आपके पास rights है तो no one else without your permission can actually use that invention. That's the reason we have Funsuk Wangdu, जिससे all the way along Chatur Ramlingam. If you remember that movie 3 Idiots, what Bhavna mentioned. उस movie में Chatur Ramlingam comes down to meet Funsuk Wangdu because he has got some patents. But and third party wants to actually Chatur Ramlingam wants to commercialize it. Right now, herein you need to understand these are negative rights. If I get a patent, doesn't mean I would get actually some money out of it, or I can commercialize it as well. No, for your new drug, if you are getting a patent, still you have to go through the clinical trial route. You have to carry out the preclinical phase 1, 2, 3, and then only your drug would get approved. Patent mil gaya doesn't mean you can launch the product. This is the crux, or this is the basic concept about patent. How much is the cost for patent filing? If anyone is really interested, I can give my number. You can get connected with us. But then what is important herein is when we are filing as an institute or when we are filing as an individual, the cost is different. But then for sure, the government has come up with some scheme which is not yet implemented, wherein there would be a reduction in fees for patent filing as such. Can I file application without telling my institute or guide? Yes, you can do. If your institution doesn't have a IPR policy in place, in that case, students can do that. And let me tell you, I have done it with many of the students as well, because when they approach us, their institute doesn't have an IP policy, or they even do not know how to actually do this basically. So as an organization, we are helping you customize the IPR policy as per your needs. And since coming from pharma, we have been working with the major pharma institutions, wherein I would say the IPR policy implementation is also having an IPR policy itself is something which is required at academic institution level, because otherwise your students or even a faculty can actually, or tomorrow your faculty leaves from your organization to some other and takes the research there. How are you going to control it? If you don't have IPR policy in place, you cannot control it. Let me tell you, legally you cannot actually they are the students or the faculties or researchers are not bound to tell your institute or guide. Can someone else file patent application of my invention? Yes, this is also possible. Reason being ये we are in India, and India में हर चीज होती है. Actually practically this has happened with one of my clients, pharmacy college में ही. आप एक लैब में बहुत सारा डेटा शेयर कर रहे हो, एक सिस्टम पे बहुत सारा डेटा है. How are you going to control this? That's the reason we need to have IPR policy at a academic institution level. How is IPR policy going to help? IP policy is going to solve all these problems, as well as it is going to help you for your accreditations, as well as whatever activities you are actually involved into for your master's research or a PhD research as well, or for your faculties. Now हम लोग जब पेटेंट फाइल करते हैं, after that it gets published after 18 months. Those faculties or researchers who tell that we have 100 patents, 50 patents, let me tell you, they are all applications getting published. Patent application gets published twice, once as an application and second as a granted patent basically. And from filing to grant, the entire journey may take 3 to 4 years. We also have expedited examination process wherein we have maybe in few months even patent gets granted with some extra cost as such. Is publication of application assures a grant? No, not at all. The publication of an application would never assure you grant of a patent. It goes through the journey wherein it actually the analysis of novelty, obviousness, and industrial applicability is done. What is the cost after patent filing till grant? Again, the same answer. If anyone is really interested, can get connected. Can I commercialize the invention after grant? Answer to this is again the same one. Commercialization has nothing to do with patent. Patent filing ke baad bhi, not before patent filing, but after patent filing, you can definitely commercialize your invention. Would I be Funsuk Wangdu once patent gets granted? मुझे अगर patent grant हो गया तो कोई मेरे पास आएगा क्या पैसे लेके? It would never happen. It's not the patent, it's the technology. उस drug का, उस dosage form का अगर कुछ value है, then only you would get a patent. Then only it would get licensed out. Remember this. I think Bhavna covered this part, design and patent. So design and patent. Now, because we have some faculties and research, we need to understand the difference between a research paper and a patent application. Basically, when we think of a research paper, usually it gets published post analysis. You have a communication with the journal, and thereafter they evaluate it, and based on that they would publish it. Patent application के केस में ऐसे नहीं है. Whatever you file, let me repeat, whatever you file would get published as a patent application in 18 months time. Okay, there is a fees involved in that. Research paper में कोई fees नहीं लगता, but nowadays there are lots of research paper who are asking for money as well, right? Now, the important thing about research paper and patent application is that research paper just gets published once. And that's what we call research publication. Patent application gets published twice, once as a patent application and second as a granted patent. The first one is a patent filed and patent granted is the second one. It is granted. Generally, your research paper, when it is analyzed, they just check the novelty. Naya hai ki nahi? Is it new or not? Your research paper gets published. But in case of patent application, the secondary criteria of non-obviousness is also very important. Now if we look at the, हम लोग जो लिटरेचर सर्वे करते हैं ना, उसमें नॉवेल्टी एस्पेक्ट ही देखते हैं कि कुछ नया हमारा है या it already disclosed basically. And therein the differences in case of patent, non-obviousness criteria also need to be checked before filing. Now in case of research paper, you have no legal right. You have no legal right. जैसे विक्रांत जी ने अगर कोई पेटेंट रिसर्च पेपर पब्लिश कर दिया एंड आई एम अ बिजनेसमैन, आई फील अरे बहुत अच्छा प्रोडक्ट है, यू कैंट स्टॉप मी विक्रांत जी फ्रॉम commercializing that invention. Okay, that's the crux. And in case of patent application, you can stop others, you can stop me. Without your permission, I can't launch that particular product. Commercialization, as I mentioned, in case of research paper, anyone can do. In case of patent, only assignee or licensee can actually do that. Types of rights, I think, been discussed by Bhavna. Okay, one question is like, okay, as I said, shall I file the patent application on my own? You can do that, but there is a lot of practice that is required. That's the reason you should go for a patent agent. And finally, in research papers, yours, the most significant part is result. आपके पास रिजल्ट अच्छे है कि नहीं. In case of patent application, it is the claiming language, the boundary of the invention, that is the most important thing. Now, I think again the same slide that I have actually, as far as pharmaceutical, let me focus for next 10 minutes on the pharmaceutical invention जो आप Sutic chemistry, cognosy, ecology, QA, industrial pharmacy के lab में करते हैं. यहाँ पे हमारे लिए 3 चीजें बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. फर्स्ट, सेक्शन 3E, जो कॉम्बिनेशन है, हर्बल कॉम्बिनेशन, ड्रग कॉम्बिनेशन A+B, ये पेटेंटेबल नहीं है इंडिया में. बट देन हाउ टू अवॉइड दैट? इफ यू शो synergy, in that case, you can definitely have that patent granted. We have got a lot of combinations getting patented as such. Pharma में, herbal के, method of treatment not patentable in India. But then what is important is, we need to put it in the proper claiming language. In that case, second medical use, pharmacology में जो कर रहे हो उसको भी patent मिल सकता है. But then not as a method of treatment, but more as a composition or finished dosage form. Traditional knowledge not patentable directly, but what is patentable in case of traditional knowledge is converting that traditional knowledge into modern dosage form, giving some advantage. Then in that case it would be definitely patentable. Let me go to most of the patents get rejected because of novelty or obviousness. These are some of the reasons basically, but then since these are more of legal terms, we need to avoid this. Let me tell you what is patentable. In pharmacology, we have got the inventions like dose determination, dosage form determination, dosing regimen determination, method of administration, metabolite, method of treatment. Now these are different inventions which can be patented. Some of them may not be patentable in India, but these are different inventions. Basically क्या होता है, हमारे पास M.Pharm के thesis आते हैं, PhD के thesis आते हैं. We evaluate what is patentable out of it, instead of you telling us, because many a times what assets we have we don't know, and you may not know what is that one thing that may be patentable in your entire thesis. And that's how we work with pharmacy colleges, wherein we get entire thesis coming to us before it is actually published basically, or before it is submitted, and then we can evaluate based on this whether it is patentable in India or not. In case of Sutics, everything, whatever you do, formulation, any dosage form, change in excipients, change in dose, dosing range, anything that is there in Sutics and even in chemistry, everything is patentable, provided it goes through section 3D. Section 3D is something which blocks the patent evergreening, as in if it is very close, the structurally similar agar hai, then we need to show the enhanced therapeutic efficacy. Otherwise, everything in pharmaceutical chemistry, the process, the product, intermediate, the impurity, everything is actually patentable. In case of pharmacognosy, important thing, as I said, is herbal invention. And there are a lot of misconceptions. Let me tell you, if there is anyone from cognosy here would very easily understand what this invention is. Epileptic treatment के लिए composition comprises 1, 2, 3, 4 actually herbs in combination. Now this is patented, this is granted patent. If you can see it, IN 2955175 as a number. Herbal inventions are patentable in India. It is a myth that herbal invention. In fact, we have filed more than 150 patents for pharmaceutical colleges or universities, and therein I would say more than 60% are from herbal domain. क्योंकि क्या होता है, हर्बल डोमेन में कॉग्निसी के लोग काम कर रहे हैं, कोलॉजी के कर रहे हैं, स्यूटिक्स के लोग भी काम कर रहे हैं. तो मैक्सिमम इनफ्लो इज फ्रॉम हर्बल इन्वेंशंस बेसिकली. And out of 10 patents granted, 7 are from herbal actually. Like, so we have lots of, only requirement is we need to get some approval from one of the agencies called National Biodiversity Authority, NBA Chennai, and that's the only added thing for herbal inventions as such. So these are some other examples. Why I am focusing on herbal is because it covers all the even departments except chemistry. Even few chemistry guys are working in herbal inventions as such. Like, that's the reason I'm focusing on this. How actually, like, that's how a patent can, for your research, for your thesis, master's or PhD thesis, is something which is possible. We are doing it with the institutes. For any, I would say, details, I have my number right here. You can get in touch with me. I won't take much of your time. Before I conclude, because I think we are running out of time. We are almost at 1 p.m. and what we are doing, as if you can see right here, we have this brand Pharmaliterate. Of course, been associated with ASSOCHAM since long as such, but beyond that, especially since it's a pharma institute, I must tell you this: we have been involved with lots of workshops, FDPs, faculty development programs, or startup mentoring, and in fact, for IPR related workshops, we are working with ASSOCHAM IPFC as such, and we are providing the students with internship options, pharmacy students. Let me tell you, we are mentoring students for startups. So there are pharmacy students who are having their startups, and they are coming up with their own ideas as such, and that's where we have tried to create a niche for ourselves as well, because as I said, until and unless we allow our student to come up with newer ideas, commercialize their inventions, that won't be something which would be really worth as far as our research is concerned. Once again, thank you so much. With just a request, I'm putting the details in the chat box about all these sessions that we have with many of the institutions are available on this channel. Maybe for any details, you can go through that because I wanted to speak more on the pharma or pharma related inventions per se. I tried to cover in a short time. If there is any question, I would be more than happy to answer. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, Vijay sir. Thanks for enlightening students regarding the basics of patent filing, how the patents are granted, an overview of the difference between the publication and the patent application. Very, 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 very informative session, sir. Now the house is open for questions. If anyone have any question, you can ask us from in the chat box. I think there is no question.
I can see a question. If I can take it, Vikramji.
Yes.
Is there any provision if I don't want to file a patent? Instead, I would sell my innovation to an organization and get royalty out of it. This is coming from Jagtar Singh. I believe it's coming from a faculty right now.
He's a student, sir.
Okay, great. Good to know that. So basically, if you have an invention and if you want me to give you royalty, why should I give you royalty for? For what? Because there are two things. One is, do you have a legal protection? Can someone else copy it without your permission? Therein, if you don't have patent, the answer to that is no, I can easily copy that. because you don't have a legal protection for that. But second aspect for that is, are you working on a technology which is not accessible to me? Or do you have something which is something unique and which I can't access directly? Or you have that technology, what we call as know-how basically, or what we also call it as a so-called platform technology development. For that would take me a longer period of time. In that case, I may give some royalty, but then eventually what would happen is, आपको रॉयल्टी तो मैं इनिशियली दूंगा, आप जब टेक्नोलॉजी ट्रांसफर करोगे मुझसे, एंड दिस इज प्रैक्टिकल, प्रैक्टिकली ये होता है, when you are transferring the technology to me, I'm giving you some royalty. If you don't have a legal protection, next day I can copy that technology because you don't have a legal protection for that, right? So that way it is always recommended, if you really want to outsource or outlicense your technology, get it protected first, IP protected, be it patent protected, design protected, or trademark protected. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Any other questions? With this, I think we have to close the session. I would like to now thanks ASSOCHAM, Mr. Nahid sir, Vijay Kumar sir, Bhavna ma'am, for enlightening the student regarding various aspects of intellectual property rights. And I hope this session will surely help the student in their future endeavors. Thank you all for joining the session.
Great congratulations to PCT also, PCT Group of Institute, that you have understood the importance of IPR and you have collaborated with ASSOCHAM for organizing this webinar. And I wish your student and faculty member will get to aware of their IP rights as well as patent filing. Like Vijay sir has given some enlightening inputs about the publication as well as patent difference between both the things. So I think more of the students will be enlightened and they will get some commercial value out of these kinds of knowledge sessions. Thank you so much, Dr. Puneet, as well as CTE team.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay, we should conclude the session now.
Yes.
Okay.